headpiece is made of used native handheld fun. Wooden stick for the traditionals and additional details to make this headpiece a huge and perfect. The pamaypay headdress of Miss Elame Logroño.
The festival has now become a crucial part of the Baguio culture. A culinary term, Panagbenga means a season of blooming, a floral headdress made of recycled materials such as plastic bottles, yampan, metal wires, foam plastics, and chopsticks, which reminds us to conserve, protect, and preserve Mother Earth for the next generation. These are sandals.
Inspired to make a very expensive chili into a very headdress, she used recycled from the Catholic, long pants, and time. The story about the pretty fairy who loved to dance chili. This famous fairy wearing a headdress decided to love to the Kalikasan. The making of this headdress is more than 2 months to be completed. This kind of fairy chili headdress is to inspire everybody to save our Mother Earth by using the recycled materials. Wearing the chili-inspired headdress, Miss Janice Lopez. She is also known as the Queen of the Sea. It's a combination of silver and blue headpiece composed of scratched materials, plastic materials rather, assembled to a huge headpiece creation. This queenly inspired headdress is representing the Queen of the Sea. Ladies and gentlemen, Rosalie de Raza. Our next candidate is Miss Lani Cardenas. Leones, a wide headdress with a huge head of the leones. It's made of plastic straw, wood stick, and a plastic materials. Leon is the playful lion. She represents the motherhood with strong characteristics. Miss Lani Cardenas is proud to represent the animal kingdom of the Eco Headdress competition. She believed that if we are all responsible for the protection and care of the nature, and most especially the environment, there's responsibility, no boundaries. Miss Lani Cardenas, the Leones.
This Chinese temple-inspired headdress, done by Suitenia Yang, is composed of umbrella, plastic fork, and plastic bottle recycled materials. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into new materials and objects. China's Temple of the Chinese, Filipino indigenous religious organizations of the same. But China's temple gives people the feeling of harmonious environment and comfortable life when they stroll in the changeable and complicated buildings. The spirit of entering the mortal world is encouraged when practicing religious services. She chose this headpiece concept to represent the love for her Taiwanese partner. And according to Suitanya, conserving our environment, let's help our Mother Earth to bloom more than a sunshine. And let's take good care of our surroundings. Ladies and gentlemen, Suitanya Yang.
Is Miss Jemeline Mavalier. Sinulog Santorini-inspired headpiece. It's a combination of red, gold, and black made of plastic spoon and scratch cardboard. The Sinulog Santorini Festival is an annual cultural and religious festival held on the third Sunday of January in Cebu City, and is the center of the Santorini Catholic celebration in the Philippines. The festival is considered to be the first of most popular festival in the Philippines, with every celebrations of the festival routinely attracting around 1 to 2 million people from all over the Philippines every year. Aside from the religious aspects of the festival, Sinulog is also famous for its street parties, usually happening at the night before the night of the main festival. She believed that never be afraid to be raised your voice for the honesty and truth and compassion against injustice and lying and greed. If people all over the world would be do this, it would be changed the world. Miss Jemeline Mavalier, the Sinulog Santorini-inspired headpiece.
strong personality of the Miss Rafaela Joy Picon. She chose this kind of headpiece to bring a good spice and brings well the Miss competition. According to Miss Falcon, we only need to look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better because nature is the art of God. Ladies and gentlemen, Florence Joy Falcon.
And now let's all welcome Miss Noemi Ruth Hernandez, Queen of Halamanan. This dwelling-inspired headdress is made of recycled plastic wares, a plastic basket, and plastic spoon. Assembled into a floral type of headpiece, these headdress represents the Queen of Halamanan for its annual headdress competition. And she code, we inherited beautiful planet from our ancestor. Now it's our turn to leave it in the best shape for the generations to come. Once again, Miss Noemi Ruth Hernandez.
Candidate number 10 is Rachel Perron. The history of Masquerade Festival is not only an interesting one, but also a source of motivation for all of us as well. The Bacolod City Festival started in the year 1980 when the entire Bacolod people were down and out because of the downfall in the economy of the city. It was the time when local people, the government, and civil groups decided to bring back the old smiles of the city. So the local people and government officials declared to organize the festival, and the only purpose of the festival was to change the gloomy atmosphere of the city. So this is how they defeated the testing time with the conduction of the Masquerade Festival. Masks were introduced as a sign of smiling faces because of the local people were very much influenced from the Venice and Brazilian Rio Carnival. She is wearing a unique local recycling headdress materials used of paper masquerade design which starred as a queen. Paper gold, color bed, spoon, paper cups, and open ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Perron.
And now, let's all welcome Miss AC Kasuga, the Inam-inspired headdress. She uses the scratch papers and waved into a perfection stash of the satellite. Some plastic spoons for the centers that represents the sun. Arceli Kasuga, your Inam Kalikasan. And she code, no matter what is the environment around you, it is always possible to maintain your brand of integrity. Once again, Miss Ashley Kasuga. Let's all welcome our candidate number 12, Miss Grisha Mia Paras. The Piñas Summer Pineapple Festival is celebrated yearly in the town of Dagat, Camarines Norte in the Bicol region. The festival is celebrated from the June 15 to 24, which coincides with the fest of town patron saint, Saint John the Baptist. This creation is made of old newspaper, broomstick, barbecue stick, disposable spoon, empty bottles, used decorations, and accessories. Once again, Miss Grisha Mia Paras.
Candidate number 13 is Ms. Zeril Vicente. This costume was inspired from the municipality of Daang Bantayan of Cebu City. It's abundant of enriched natural resources, most especially the pink moschanda. Doña Luz Felipica, the myth of these flowers came from 1800s, where the flowers existed. Every last month of the year was the seasons of blooming. From plastic bottles and dried twigs, it turns into a majestic headpiece. Ladies and gentlemen, Zeril Vicente, and she believes to regain the consciousness and positive outlook of people about cultural and environmental culture. Nature rather. Ladies and gentlemen, Zeril Vicente.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome candidate number 14, Isdam Corbelia. This headpiece is inspired from the Queen of Aliwan. It is an anticipated festival which celebrated in Pasay City, Philippines. It is the festival of all festivals in the country, made from plastic spoon, gin ball, plastic cups, straws, plastic plates. Queen of Aliwan is Isdam Corbelia. And she code, nature brings us life. If we fail to preserve it, life will be full of mishaps.
Christina Gagabuan is candidate number 15. This Reina ng Kalikasan inspired headpiece is composed of plastic straw painted with green and assembled to a huge crown representing the queen of the nature. Miss Christina Gagabuan is your Reina ng Kalikasan. And according to her, we must not sit idly by injustices abounding around us. We must be a voice and we must use it. We must advocate for those who no longer have a voice. We must love greatly. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 15, Christina Gagabua.
Our next candidate is Miss Ivy Landecho Maxino. This headpiece is made from the 100% plastic bottles that pass into a flowers and a leaves. It's inspired from the story of Diwata Mahinugmaon, the saintly fairy queen of Maramag Bukidnon. She is the fairy of love for natures, animals, and humans. The flowers symbolize for her kindness and beauty. Diwata Mahigugmaon headdress of Miss Ivy Maxino. And she code, the greatest dream to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Once again, Miss Ivy Maxino. Our candidate number 17 is none other than Miss Patricia Ann Barceliano. This concept is inspired by the Garden of Eden, where colorful flowers are found, and here there are two people who are in love. This headdress was made in a place where there is a peace, happiness, and responsibility. Most especially, there is a love from the God Almighty who made everything. She code, creation that focuses its sights on God's visions of an abundant and ecological, flourishing life for all creatures. Once again, Miss Patricia Ann Barceliano.
Candidate number 18 is Regine Asuncion Di Manuel. The beautiful peacock crown symbolizes beauty and dignity in decorative art. The major material used for this are plastic spoons. The idea of using plastic spoon came up because it is one of the many types of waste that takes too long to decompose in the environment. We wanted to help promote the proper usage of resources and the creativity of reducing, reusing, and recycling of waste in our community. By having this chance of wearing recycled peacock headdress to inspire everyone to flaunt and share their unique creativity in saving the environment. The peacock crown is perfectly colored in green for having positive environmental attributes, and she believes you are beautiful with a heart to every mankind. You are beautiful with applause. You are beautiful with a heart to nature. And you are beautiful with a purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, Regine Asuncion de Manuel.
Our next candidate is Miss Maricris Saliro, the Garden Queen. This headdress is made of recycled plastic materials and creates a wind twister. It attracts the winds and somehow it locates the directions of the air. A twister is an object that spins or whirls, or has at least one part that spins or most commonly powered by the wind that can be fanned. Friction or motor powered. They can be used as a kinetic garden ornament. And she code, environmental conservation is important to protect our own existence. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maricris Saliro.
for the female category is candidate number 20, Jennifer Marielle. This headpiece was conceptualized from the goddess of the Mediterranean Sea, Amphitrite. She is distinguishable from others by her queenly attributes on how she protects the seaworld. This is made from recycled materials like disposable board that were attached together to represent the crown of Amphitrite. Seashells and bead sands are intricately attached for the delicate designs. Spoon and paper plates also aligned to represent the scales of other sea creatures. This piece wants to represent and remind us that we should never neglect our environment and we should take and respect the world as much as we can. Candidate number 20, Jennifer Noriega.
And it's time for our main category. Let's begin with candidate number 1, Mr. Raymond Buson. This headpiece is inspired by the King of Fire, made recycled paper cups. Made of recycled paper materials, crafted and spray painted with gold, orange, and yellow. This represents the element of fire for this eco headdress competition. And heat code. Care for the universe. Reuse the past. Recycle the present. Save the future. Care not only for yourself, but for the entire universe. That is your candidate number 1, Miss Raymond Buson.
Number 2 is John Ortiz Reyes. A salakot is a traditional white-green hat from the Philippines. It is often made of either rattan or frog bite seeds and is a Filipino traditional headdress similar to the iconic conical hat found in neighboring Southeast Asian countries. In everyday life, the hat is worn by farmers and ordinary citizens protecting themselves from the sun and rain. In Angeles, Pampanga City, the residents of the city's entertainment village, Barangay Balibago, is celebrating their week-long Salakot Festival. The costume of embellishing the Salakot developed during the Spanish era. Golden King Salakot is made from salakot itself, plastic cups, plastic spoons, plastic sheet ball, sipping straw, metallic plastics, secret beads, VCDs, and sprayed with gold. The salakot is a common symbol of our Filipino identity. This headgear is handmade by Joe Cortez Reyes himself. And he believes we are the one who will protect and restore the beauty of our nature. Cherish the natural world because you are part of it and you depend on it. Be an eco warrior and save the Mother Earth. That is according to candidate number 2, John Ortiz Reyes.
Mr. Richmar Alva. These headpieces represent the rise of the sun, the new beginning of life. It showcased the biracials of the Chinese and the Filipinos cultures. It came from the gold paper, used cloth, and helmet. The king of samurais. And he quote, "What we are doing to the forest of the world is the mirror and reflection of what we are doing to ourselves and to one another." Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Richmar Alva.
Candidate number 4 is Mark Malilin. The headdress called King Farmer Headdress. This is to recognize all farmers out there. It was called King Farmer Headdress for the reason of farming, specifically rice farming. It is the way to prevent the rice shortage in the country, especially the Philippines. And the farmer will be called superior for producing food for the people. This is made up of weave, bamboo, metal caps, and cotton pans. And I don't want to protect the environment. I want to create a world where the environment doesn't need protecting. Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 4, Mark Malilin.
Our next candidate is Mr. Alden Maniego. A straw hat is a brick hat that is woven out of straw or straw-like materials from different plants or synthetics. The hat is designed to protect the head from the sun and against heat stroke. A farmer's hat inspired headdress as key as a protector of our environment that made out of recycled materials such as plastic bottles, chopsticks, PP pellets, clear PP sticky plastic, and designed according to desire and sprayed with the colors to make it more defined. A recycled farmer's hat headdress that reminds us to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And he quote, "Let us be protectors of creations, protections of God's plans. Pride in nature, protectors of one another and of the environment." Once again, Mr. Alden Maniego.
Next one to walk around is Albert Enrique Orhalo, also known as Halaman King. This headdress is formed like a garden, made of electric fan cover as a base, plastic battles for the garden details. Ladies and gentlemen, the Halamanan King. According to him, it's never too late to save the environment. I'm here to promote and encourage friends, family, and families, and people around us to sustainable, eco-friendly, reusable bags into their day-to-day life. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Enrique Orhalo.
Next candidate is Mr. Kim Kasapunan. This windmill-inspired headdress is made of recycled plastic straw, plastic spoon, and fork. Combinations of silver and blue color, assembled and crafted like a windmill. A windmill is a mill that converts the energy of wind into a rotational energy by means of vanes called sails or blades. And he quote, "Environmental protection will be rooted deep in the heart of every mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ib Kasupanan.
This bishop headpiece is inspired from the king of the ocean. It's a huge king crown composed of dried leaves. This headpiece represents the kingdom of the ocean made by himself, Richard Kagiwa. And according to him, turning life-threatening materials into life-saving one is saving the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, Rainer Kagiwa.
And our next candidate is Mr. Leonard Mendoza. Sarimanok inspired. The headdress inspired by the legendary bird of the Maranao people. Sarimanok originated from the Mindanao and island in the Philippines. The legendary bird that became an ubiquitous symbols of Maranao art. The head is profusely decorated with a screw, leaf, and spiral motifs said to be a symbols of a good fortune. The headdress is made of recycled materials such as plastic spoons, cups, skewers, and golden color painted beads that the Sarimanok inspired headdress. And he quote, "He don't simply live and care for the nation. He also helped others to understand and educate them, but to take care for the nation." Once again, Mr. Leonard Mendoza. Our next candidate is Mr. Harrison Briones. Mr. Harrison Briones is wearing the headdress inspired from the Panika of Bukidnon. Native people or indigenous people represent love, strength, compassion, integrity, and reach. From this post helmet, floorboard, and use cloth, Panika of Bukidnon, Mr. Harrison Briones. And he quote, "We are so close to the red line, we may wake up tomorrow and discover there is nothing left to save." Once again, Mr. Harrison Briones.
Donning the Echo Tower headpiece is Edward Allan Austria Quinto. The gigantic headdress is composed of recycled plastic cups, spray painted with gold and green, which symbolizes the color of the ecosystem. It forms like a huge tower to create a good spot for this headdress competition. And according to him, we must save the environment and you will save the life and future. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward Allan Austria Quinto.
Our last but not the least is Mr. Charlie Dungdung.
The headpiece represents Maleficent. She once had the purest loving heart, but turned into a fierce protector when an army threatened her land. She was betrayed by someone she trusted. This hardened her heart and caused her to focus on revenge. The headpiece is made from recycled paper plates. The horns are made from rubber. Feathers added are reminders of her wings. Wearing Maleficent-inspired headpiece is candidate number 12, Mr. Charlie Lundo.
And he told, sustainable development is that which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the male versions of Maleficent, Mr. Charlie Lundo.